Okay, here we are with another at Vegas Horseball soccer contest update. We're down to the last, I think it's what, 4 games, depending if there's a playoff for third in both tournaments or not. We've got Scott and Florian. Scott, what can you update us with and how's it going?
Well, the first thing I want to say is we've had a real shakeup in the standings this week. The leaderboard has really, really tightened up. I'll go ahead and post those, or we'll talk. Actually, we'll talk about them here in a few minutes. But the first story I want to tell before we actually get started is Florian, my buddy here. We actually met at Bet Bash last year. I was just on a trip to the Northwest. Actually, we're in Seattle, and I was looking through the people that I knew up there, and I realized I had a buddy there that I had met at Bet Bash. So I gave him a call. Of course, he's in the soccer contest. We'll ask him what he thinks of it. We'll see if I can talk him into sharing his record. But Florian, I'd like to introduce you to the crowd here and give us a little bit of your background.
I can go with the record first. Actually, it's pretty good today. I think it's 40. I don't remember the other number, but the wins are 40. And then I can look it up now, but I don't know if it's gonna miss. Actually, I can give you the exact record right now. Give me. Oh, do you have me? Yes. Let me look at the number right now. Give me one moment.
So it'll be 40, 26, and 10 then, if that's the case.
Yeah, that is my number. Correct. That is my record. Yeah.
Well,
That's the record. Yeah.
Here's what the top four winners look like. There is now 4 people tied with the lead with 43
Ooh.
wins. We have one man or woman, I guess. We have one person at 42 wins. We have one person at 41 wins, and we have 2 people tied at 40. So you're telling me, Florian, you're one of the 40?
Yeah.
Okay. Adam, are you one of the 40 also?
No, I'm the 42 standalone.
Oh, you're the standalone. There's a huge fight between the 40. So that should mean the 43s are in good shape then going into this next week. And the fight is on between the 3 guys between 40 and 41. But Florian, go ahead and tell us how you're going to win this thing.
I don't know. We should hope the Dutch win the championship. That would be good. I mean, they did. I don't know, but we have to wait for Kuman, see what Kuman is gonna do, and then I'm not happy with Deschamps, and then I'm not happy with Southgate. So I don't want to see. I really don't want to see England in the final in terms of watching the game and enjoying it, because
Okay.
he's just gonna play everyone out of position, and you have torture you to watch a 90 minutes game. But we'll see. And Copa America, I haven't really followed it, but I
Okay.
think since Emi Martinez is the goalkeeper for Argentina, you have a good chance of betting on Argentina to win the championship because of Martinez.
Well, these prizes are so strong that Adam's given out. You might want to
Yeah,
spend
I
some real
figured.
serious time. He just sent me the handicaps for the next round. I will be releasing those late tonight. They'll be available first thing tomorrow, and they'll be available on Spank Odds if you want to see them. Actually, they'll be on Spank Odds before they're on VHP Proxy. But you had a nice strong week. You're in contention. So how have you enjoyed using the proxy service this year?
I think it's great. It's fun. I think we should do maybe some other contests too, maybe motocross for the next season, because this season is almost over. But maybe we should do a motocross for the next year,
Well,
or some other smaller league.
that can be done. Here's how I'd recommend to get it done. Send a DM to Adam and talk him into it. That's all you got to do. Easy process.
All right.
And Adam
Adam,
he likes to gamble, so
or maybe
I
we
think
can
he's
go
good.
with the Australian, some Australian sports.
I got to tell you, I think this has been a really good process for the brand new service because this server is brand new and it is doing a wonderful job of sending out all the emails. I could not be more pleased. I'm glad you're happy with it. I think everybody will be happy. And I'm looking forward to giving the seminar at Bet Bash. You're going to be at Bet Bash again, I hope, Florian.
I am going to be there. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I am. I just bought my
You bought tickets.
my plane
Good.
tickets, and I have to look for it. Yeah.
Well, that's great news because a bunch of us are going to be going out Sunday night, probably about 11 o'clock, to eat some oxtail soup. I know, and I've talked Adam into going. So Adam's definitely going to be one of them there. And, of course, my regularly scheduled luncheon will be on Monday at noon. So I hope you can attend those two things.
I will. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds really
Probably
good.
drive from LA today.
Driving from LA. Oh, you're not in Seattle right now?
I'm gonna fly to LA on that week. Be right before the Bed Bash. I'm gonna be in LA, and then I'm gonna. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay. All right. So, tell me a little bit about your strategy here with just such few games left. Are you using game theory, or are you just doing the regular handicap?
I did some regular handicap till this moment, but I think I'm gonna go do some game theory now because it's almost done.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's right.
We'll see. Yeah, you got to do some game theory here because it's tight competition at the moment.
Exactly. There's 3 of you fighting over that last spot, so that sounds really good. I really do appreciate you coming on here. It's always good to have somebody else on here, and I just want to thank you for coming. Adam, did you have any questions for him before we let him go?
No, but there is the spreads have been set up a little bit so someone can take a chance to kind of disrupt this a little bit. So yeah, we'll see what happens in the semifinals.
Okay, so we're not going to have another week with a couple pushes.
No, the Euro games have made sure there won't be any pushes. So again, I imagine there'll be a high 80 to 90% rates of picking both France and the Netherlands, but it gives the opportunity for someone to sort of go against the odds and see if they can catch up.
Yeah, and that's where game theory really comes into it. Because if you're behind, you've got to pick the worst of the worst side. So that's great. I like that better than us having a tie, especially with such few games left. There is a third place game that I did see that will be not in the next group. Your picks next week will be, or your next picks will be due on the 8th, which is in 2 days, which will be due at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So make sure you get those picks in. But I think, Florian, we can go ahead and let you go, and we'll go ahead and finish this up.
All right. Thank you, guys. Much. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Cheers. Thanks, Florian, for joining.
All right, Adam, I got the toughest question for you. Who's going to win the Euro Cup? That was asked by Prediction Dog. He was one of the guys that used my proxy service last year.
Yeah, so pretty much the 3 of the 4 teams left, the 3 teams that I opposed, or 2 teams that I opposed, I really went hard against France and against England. I got beat by both. Spain looks the best team. I really hope England don't win, but something tells me that they probably likely make the final, and then we'll see what happens from there. On the other side, I actually spent the week backing Colombia to win the 2026 World Cup at 150s and 200s and stuff like that. Argentina look tough here. They'll easily walk into the final and then get, whoever stands up out of Uruguay and Colombia. But Colombia's look good. So, I just like to see Argentina get beat. So whoever get there out of Colombia and Uruguay, I'm happy to see win this thing.
That sounds good. So I know you're not eligible for the prizes, and the prizes are tremendous. Oh, that reminds me of another thing that was brought to my attention this week, is we have a very, very real possibility of having a tie. Do you want to announce what we're going to do in the event of a tie?
Yeah, so any ties, we're just going to use them as entries as well. So if it ends up being 6 or 7 of the winners, 2 or 3 on the bottom side, so be it. If you can manage to be equal last and, tied in those top 5 plus on the top, then everyone will be getting an entry to the Circa events.
That is more generous than I think anybody could believe. But I've known you a long time, so it really didn't shock me when you told me you were going to pay ties. But I just brought up this report and I wanted to share it with you. There's a player out here that doesn't want there to be a tie for the worst ticket. There is one player with 26 wins. We have 2 players with 28 wins and 1 player with 29 wins. These guys are all eligible to win the low. And there's a guy, like I said, the guy has a 2-game lead, and I don't think he's going to give it up. Looks like the low side's not going to be a tie unless something crazy.
Okay, so
happens.
that was from memory. I think we were 25 was the low number previously. So that guy went 1-4 and 3 in these games. So he did exactly as he should have done.
Yep.
And pretty much went the opposite of I went, which was 4-1 and 3. No, for me again, it was as much to enter this thing and at least be somewhere near the top. To show that I actually, have some clue at what I actually do. So it's been good. I'm happy to be nice if I can find a way to get to that top of that tree, or at least tied for the top. One behind the leaders right now. It's been fun, and the whole purpose of this is for the proxy service and really test it out. And I keep saying it week after week is versus what this was last year and versus other proxies that I've used. I mean, I'm really looking forward to the football season where, with the Circa Millions and especially the Circa Survivor, with how you say that's working. And, if you're getting into week, 7, 8, 9, 10, knowing what teams you can't pick and things like that, that's the key to this. When you're setting up in these contests, there's always those dangers of making a mistake because you misread something or you entered something incorrectly and things like that. So ultimately, being able to just have a system where you're just plugging in the numbers, what teams you can use, you can't use. If you're lucky enough to still have 7, 8, 9, or even 10 of your survivor entries into, week 8 to 10 or even 12 going into that back end of the season, being able to see what you've used, what you can use, what you can't use, and things like that is going to be a big advantage.
Well, there's one more advantage out there that I'm not sure people are aware of. I'm not going to give it away here. I'm going to give it away at the seminar at Bet Bash. I'm giving a seminar. I'm up against Spanky. So if you want to know the secret, how you could actually lose a game in Survivor and still be the champion, come to my seminar. I'll show you how to do it. So there's a teaser for you. First week, you don't have to be right. I can still show you how to win being wrong on the first week. So there's a little tagline for my seminar. Hopefully everybody will sign up for it. The ones that get shut out of being in Spanky's seminar, that is. So to win this contest, and this is the one mistake we did make in this contest, and I fully admit this, I wish I'd have put entries in for me, because it would have been a lot more fun for me to be able to give you a hard time about beating you rather than I would have beat you. So The next time when we do this, like Florian said, when we could talk you into doing it for motocross, we will make sure that I get an entry in too. It never crossed my mind to be a participant, I guess, because I was so worried about the way things were set up. But
no, of course. And yeah, I mean, who knows what comes around next summer, but obviously 2 summers from now, doing this again for the World Cup. Hopefully there's, bigger things that we can offer, and some, with what we have in the works with some of the brands and that we hope to be bringing to the market, and that doing some different things and really even expanding it beyond, I think this was sort of targeted again with the Circa stuff, with the US market, and we've had some international entries and things like that. But I think there's an opportunity, having seen how this worked, to use the technology for other things and something else to, have some fun with.
Yeah, and it's been a really good time. I appreciate you allowing me to run this contest. I think it's been pretty darn good. Oh, there is one thing I forgot to ask you. There is a new word that was developed this week on the contest, something called break time. So why did you guys make up this word called break time for a soccer game?
What the hell is break time?
I thought that's what my score sheet was saying. It was on break time. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. maybe I used Flash Score, and it said after the 90 minutes, it's some kind of period between the penalty kick and the game being over.
Okay, so what might have happened is, so like with the Euros, how you ran into where we had extra time in last week's conversation.
Right.
The Euros didn't have that overtime or extra time. They went straight from the 90 minutes to penalties,
Okay.
which caught a few sports books unaware. There was a few things out there that were offered that some people took advantage of, all in good spirit and whatnot. But yeah, this is sort of some of the quirks of being the bookmaker and the bettor, and not really doing your homework and understanding that there was no extra time or overtime in this Copa. It went straight from, in this quarterfinals or whatnot. So yeah, it caught a few by surprise, and was definitely a bit of work and a bit of cleanup after I believe it was Argentina-Ecuador game this week. So yeah,
Okay.
interesting times.
Yeah, I did see a couple comments on Twitter about did my ticket win or not because of this. So yeah, the game is still pretty complicated for Americans, but I think we'll get there. But I don't think we're quite there yet.
Yeah,
But I think,
again, I mean, as I've been saying for a few years, when you have 64 Super Bowls in 40 days, America in their own backyard, Americans will start to come around and really understand it a bit more as they go through this. And I think ultimately we've seen what Canada have done in the Copa, and with the Canada and US getting direct entry into the World Cup, along with Mexico as the hosts. This is, I think, a real big opportunity for, the US League. The MLS has really taken off in the recent years. I think the Canadian League has that opportunity as well in the next few years, and then bouncing off the top of the World Cup. But, we've sort of always looked at it with the amount of people the US have and how much sport driven and that they are. There's no reason at some point over the next decade or something that they should not be competitive in soccer World Cups and things like that. I think they've definitely underperformed in recent times, especially in this event. But like everything else, you have enough people and enough skill sets and enough immigrants and enough everything else coming into the melting pot. It's just hard for them not to be a global force, or at least competitive at some point into the future.
I think you're exactly right. I think we'll get there. I think we need to close out with just a couple of things. The handicaps will be on Spank Odds sometime this evening. They will be available to put your picks in on the VHP proxy sometime early tomorrow morning. And your picks will be due on July 8th at 7 p.m. Pacific time. And the system now is in aggressive mode, meaning it is going to harass you if you don't put your picks in. So you're going to be getting the email probably 2 times, is what I'm guessing. You'll be getting SMSs if you don't get your picks in. But again, if you don't get your picks in by 7 o'clock, we're going to have to shut the doors and you'll miss out. And the prizes are too good to miss out on. So please get your picks in. Adam, you got anything in closing here before we close the door?
No, again, it's just a handful games left. The spreads have been set up where those behind have an opportunity to take the lesser expectation. And, who knows if the favorites go, 4-0 or something, and that you take that against the spread, then you have an opportunity to really leap up the board. Because I'm pretty sure those leaders will be taking the safe plays, and definitely the favorite in the odds, which on the Euros would be the 2 plus a half. Argentina would be Canada plus 1.5 against Argentina, and the game Uruguay and Colombia I did pick, but maybe I'll send over another spread shortly and we'll make that a little different.
Okay, I'll definitely
really throw a cat among the pigeons.
That sounds good to me. But I have to say, if I had a ticket yet left, and I wish I did, I think I would throw out those 4 guys above me, because if I was setting at 40 or 41, I would just try to beat the other 2. So
Right.
you can't go too crazy, because if one of those other guys does exactly what you say and takes the worst of it in all 4 games, he could potentially eliminate himself. So you
Right.
have a game inside a game inside of a game now, because those 4 guys at the top really should just stand pat and let those 3
Yep.
guys below fight. And I'm anxious to see what the numbers look like. This has been a very interesting process for me. But that's all I got for now, and I guess we'll talk to you again. Adam, I'll let you take us out.
All right. Well, good luck to everybody in the last few games, and get the last picks in on the 8th before 7, and let's see how it shakes out.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for joining us again. We'll catch you in a few days.
Bye, everybody.